Hi class, in this video I am going to show you how to access your originality report from Turnitin. Turnitin is a plagiarism review tool that NMSU started using this semester, and basically what it is that you submit your essay the regular way, and then it checks your essay to determine how much of it is plagiarized or how much of it matches websites that are out there. So basically, what you need to know is that you submit your essay the same way. I have provided a video on how to submit and how to view your feedback. So if you need help submitting your essay, all you need to do is look at that video. So everything is submitted the same way. However, the difference is that if you're using Turnitin for the first time, it might ask you to click on user agreement contract kind of thing. It's not a contract, but it'll ask you to click if you agree to the terms, and then once you do, you will be able to submit your essay. And what I'm going to show you is how to access your report after you submitted your essay. Now the report is set to be shown immediately, so it shouldn't take you that long. However, with internet connection and issues that arise from technology, sometimes it might take a little bit longer to get your report, but usually it just takes a few minutes. So I am going to show you how to access it through one of my courses. I know that this is not our course, but I just wanted to show you through this course because this is the one that I use to submit my essay sample. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So what you need to do after you've submitted your essay the regular way, you go ahead and you click on grades. Now, once you've clicked on grades, obviously it's going to show you all of the grades that you have so far, but it's also going to show you a little flag. So I submitted an essay for Don't Blame the Eater, and it shows that I've submitted it. Obviously, my teacher hasn't graded it yet, so there's no score for it. But it also has a little flag. Now, if you hover above the flag, it says Originality Report. Now, here are some things to consider. I have Turnitin settings set to show report immediately. So as soon as you submit your report, as soon as you submit your essay, it should show you your report. However, I've noticed that with some students, it takes a little bit of time. So basically, if you've submitted your essay and the report is not ready, a little clock is going to show up right here instead of a little flag. Now, if your report is ready, you are going to have either a green flag, a yellow flag, an orange flag, or a red flag. Now, ideally, we are going for a green flag. However, if you have a yellow flag, that might still be acceptable, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So, after you've submitted your essay, after the originality report has been uploaded, you go ahead and you click on it. So, you go ahead and you click on the originality report, and it'll open up through Turnitin. Now, if this is your first time using Turnitin, it might go ahead and ask you to click on a box if you agree to terms, and then it might take you through like a little tour. But after that, you should be able to see this. So, as you can see, here's the make-believe essay I submitted. Now, obviously, I submitted a syllabus. And the reason I did that was because I wanted you to see what my plagiarism score was. So, according to this essay is plagiarized 30%. Now, in order to see what is plagiarized, you need to go ahead and click on the number. So all you need to do is click on the number, and then it tells you where this 30% comes from. So if you look at your submission, 10% comes from this website. So all you need to do is click on that section, and it'll take you to the area in the syllabus that matches that website. Now, as you can see, this right here is telling me that I plagiarized 10% from there. Now, obviously, if you look at it, these words are very similar to other policies that other colleges use. So if you look at the website that it says I plagiarized from, it's also from policy. So obviously I wouldn't have to worry about that. But the reason why I submitted the syllabus was because I knew that some of it would be plagiarized. And the reason I knew that is because I have this syllabus in one of my Canvas courses. And if you look at the second result, it says that I plagiarized from a Canvas course. Obviously, this syllabus appears in one of my Canvas courses, so that's why it picked up the 5%. And here we go. Now also, if you look at this, it says that I plagiarized the plagiarism statement, which is kind of ironic, but it's not really ironic. But every syllabus has to have this policy because it's NMSU policy. So obviously, it does come from NMSU Canvas. So in any case, the reason I'm showing you this is because most of my students, they have been submitting this and they've been getting like 1% or 2%. So I wanted to show you an example that would actually have a higher number plagiarized. So as you can see, it picks up quotes from the actual website and it tells you. See, like this one again comes from web.nmsu.edu, and again it's policy. So it says I copied this policy. So how I think you should use this tool is look at your report. If it tells you that this quote right here is very similar to the website's quote, what you can go ahead and do is you can go ahead and revise it. You can go ahead and make sure you put the quotations in the right place. Or you can go ahead and make sure that you get rid of that quote and put something else that you paraphrased. Or you can go ahead and get rid of the quote entirely. But like I said, this plagiarism review is meant to help you. So definitely go ahead and use it because, you know, it's there for a reason. So like I was saying earlier, this is the number. This is the number that was plagiarized or that matches other websites. Now, obviously, this is a pretty high number, 30%, but we do have to keep in mind that sometimes that number is high because it's highlighting certain things. Like if I show you this one says it matches 1% of the information found on this website. And the reason it matches is because I mentioned a book. And this book title also appears on this website. So obviously, I would not need to fix this in my essay because it's not plagiarized. I just happened to mention the name of the book. And this website, deliberatereader.com, also mentions that website. So what's really cool about this is that it highlights everything that appears in that website. If you find that it's something like this, guide to and writing, obviously you don't have to worry about it. But if it says it's something that is long like this, then obviously you do need to go ahead and change it so that when you turn in your essay, it's not plagiarized. So you do not need to do anything additional. Whenever you submit your essay, I will be able to see your number and I will also be able to see your originality report if I click on it. So again, this is not meant to catch you plagiarizing. It's not meant to catch you plagiarizing. It's meant to help you see if you need to go back and fix any quotes or any sources or things like that. So it's very important that you don't just click on the number. It's also very important that you click on the actual sections so that you know what's plagiarized or not. Like for example, this one is telling me 5% is plagiarized, and it tells me that this whole thing sounds very similar to what they found on Canvas. Now, like I said, obviously, yes, it's similar because my syllabus that I submitted can also be found on Canvas. So it does tend to find things. I've noticed that my students who mostly rely on internet sources, they got a higher number than students who were using databases and books and things like that. Now, if you click on this icon, it'll tell you all of the sources and it tells you what percentage of all these sources was plagiarized from. Now, as you can see, my sources are all pretty much .edu, .edu, because again, it's a syllabus, so a lot of the policy and wording has to match what policy states. So this is also something that you should look at. This right here, as you can see, it says this is copied from that website, but again, it's a grading scale, so of course it's going to be similar. So if you run across little things like this, obviously you don't have to worry about that. You only have to worry about like the big chunks that say that are plagiarized. Now if you look at this icon, it says filters and settings. So what I went ahead and what I did was I excluded quotes and bibliography. And the reason I did that was because if I had included quotes, the number of match would be higher, because anytime you quoted something, it would flag it and say that it's a match even though you quoted. So that's why I excluded quotes, and I also excluded the bibliography. That way your sources wouldn't show up on the match and you would have a more clear number, as opposed to if I had included quotes and bibliographies and things like that. However, if you want to include quotes and the bibliography, you can go ahead and do that. But do you see how my number went up by 1%? So I have the overall settings set at do not include quotes and do not include bibliography settings, because like I said, the number would be higher. But if you want to check just for your own preference, you can go ahead and do that by clicking here and unclicking the boxes. And as you can see, the number is higher because I included quotes now. So I hope this helps you. Like I said, you are submitting the assignment the same exact way. You are not doing anything differently. The only thing is that if you want to go ahead and check your originality report, you have to go to grades and then you have to click on your little flag. So basically anything that's green or yellow flags are fine. Anything that's orange or red, you really do need to review it before you submit it, because there is a risk that it could be considered plagiarized work. Now, in case you're not familiar with the policy of NMSU, it recently changed. So now, as an instructor, I have to report your plagiarism incident right away. It's not like before where I could talk to you before and things like that. Now I do have to report it automatically. So please make sure that you don't plagiarize. If you have any questions about citations, any questions about citing APA, about what you should include, please review the APA module, but also please ask me any questions. And don't forget that the ARC Tutoring Center is also available if you need help. And to view their hours and locations, all you need to do is click on the ARC tab and it'll take you to their website. So please let me know if you have any questions.